At the beginning of the year, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 took the video game industry by storm, and now that it's award season, it is getting nominated for tons of different categories, and now we're finding out that it has completely swept at the Golden Joysticks. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, Expedition 33 is an absolutely phenomenal game, one of my favorites now, and I know so many other people agree. It's got so much going for it. Gorgeous soundtracks, gorgeous visuals, you've got amazing characters, awesome gameplay. It has everything going for it, and we all knew that it would at least be nominated in most categories at most of the award shows, except for the Grammys, and that infuriated gamers when we found that out just a couple of days ago, that it, of course, had a shocking Grammy snub, and there were even other developers who were saying they were completely willing to trade places with it because they loved that title as well. But the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's award show, is a couple of weeks away, though the Golden Joysticks happened today, and it was nominated in 7 categories, and it won every single one. So Clair Obscur Expedition 33 won the most awards at the Golden Joystick 2025, and it was nominated and it won all of them. Best Storytelling, Best Visual Design, Studio of the Year, Best Soundtrack, Best Supporting Performer Verso, Best Lead Performer Mael, Ultimate Game of the Year, and you love to see it. I think it is, first of all, a game that deserves all of the praise that it's getting. It is going to go down as one of the best games of the decade, if not best game of the decade. And of course, you also have the fact that this infuriates all the right people. The video game journalists were pretty upset initially at this game just because they were like, it doesn't have a lot of diversity. This is unfortunate. But they very quickly moved past that narrative because they realized how much people love it. And they, of course, didn't want to be the odd man out. But you are also talking about ex-Ubisoft developers, a very small team creating their first game, and it has done phenomenally. Sandfall Interactive has a bright future ahead of them. All of the actors in this game have a bright future ahead of them. And sure, some of these developers were seasoned veterans in the industry. Some people they found on Reddit and SoundCloud, and they surprisingly just were able to create a team that made a masterpiece. This is really a very rare situation. And what is even better to add to that is, of course, it was nominated for 7 awards at the Golden Joystick, and it won all 7, so that is 100% win ratio. But you also have it being the most nominated game at the Game Awards ever. Now, I think what is going to happen at the Game Awards is we are going to see it win almost every sort of side category it's nominated for, except for maybe 1 or 2, but I do not think it's going to win Game of the Year because at the Game Awards, we know that 90% of the votes are journalists and basically industry insiders, and only 10% of fan votes count. So I think what is going to happen is they are going to give the win for the Game of the Year to Hades 2, because if you look at the Metacritic score and it shows all the critic reviews, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is actually rated lower than Hades 2. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has a 9.6 user, which is the highest out of all of the nominees, but a 92 critic. And if we take a look at Hades, the user score is an 8.7, but the critic score is a 95. So I think that's what they're going to do. That would be my best guess, though ultimately I think Expedition 33 does deserve to win most of the categories it's nominated in. I also loved Silksong. I think that Silksong deserves quite a few wins as well, though I just have a sneaking suspicion that we are going to see a bit of a upset here because most people only care about Game of the Year. That really just is the biggest prize here. And either way, I think Expedition 33 is going to get a lot of the wins, and I do think that it deserves it. Nobody should really trust these award shows. Most of them are rigged, and while it is nice for your favorite game to win awards and get recognition, we shouldn't take these shows too seriously. But I think this year is actually quite different. A lot of people are saying if E33 doesn't win, they will have no faith in this show going forward. And I think that that is coming from a lot of normies. I mean, even streamers are now turning against the Game Awards, and not specifically for Expedition 33, like with Shroud. He said, oh, it's rigged, it's rigged. Funny enough, Kotaku said, no, it's actually not rigged, and of course it is. And he's saying that because Arc Raiders wasn't nominated for Game of the Year, and I do think Arc Raiders should have been nominated in more categories, but at the same time, we're even seeing these people coming out and sort of fighting back against the Game Awards. Right now, they're kind of being barraged, and I think that's great to see, because the more pressure, the better. The more they might change their rules going forward. I've thought it is always completely ridiculous that fan votes only count for 10% of the total, whereas the industry insiders count for 90%. That is completely unacceptable in my opinion. But if the golden joysticks is anything to go off of, yeah, we are talking about a Claire obscure Expedition 33 sweep, and you love to see it. And this year, it's a lot of heavy competition, right? It's a lot of good games that are being nominated, but at the same time, there's just one that stands out above the rest, in my opinion, too, because Silksong was phenomenal. Though we saw what happened a couple of days back when the Grammys snubbed Expedition 33. That did not go well for them. People were freaking out over that, and the same thing is going to happen if the Game Awards doesn't give the win to E33. Lots of people are saying it should be 33 awards, but not audio design. Really well deserved. Game of the decade. And hey, I love Elden Ring. I really and truly do. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite game of all time. I still think that the competition between Expedition 33 and Elden Ring is a very tight race. I think that personally, E33 might even deserve Game of the Decade slightly more than Elden Ring, even if I have a little bit more love for Elden Ring. I would be happy with either, though. That's for sure. With this sweep on a user-voted award, the Game Awards sweep is guaranteed. Unfortunately, though, user votes don't really matter in the Game Awards, which is why I think we're going to see quite a bit of an upset potentially. Absolutely well-deserved. Next, it's going to sweep the Game Awards. How many categories was it nominated in? Were there other categories it was in but didn't win? Nope, 100% win rate. Absolutely crazy. The sweep has started. Game Awards warm-up. So I'll be keeping my eye on the Game Awards that are happening over the next few weeks. I will be streaming Jeff Keighley's show on December 11th if you're curious to see my opinions and you want to hang out with the community. But E33 deserves the world and more, and I love to see an amazing game actually winning. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.